Welcome friends. Today we are doing a vintage unboxing video. Marvellous. That's right, my friends. Today is my birthday and a perfume has arrived in the post, as perfumes are wont to do. And it is a vintage partial. And I am very happy with my purchase, I can tell you. This has been a perfume I've been searching for quite a while. I have found it very difficult. Vintage bottles of this house are sometimes easy to come across and sometimes difficult. Certain ones are easier to buy than the others. This one appears to be one of the easier ones to purchase. No, one of the harder ones to purchase. Sorry, I've led you a merry dance there. This is one of the harder ones to purchase. It is from Maitre Parfumeur Gantier, and it is called, you'll have to trust me on this, it is called Santal Noble. First things first, you will realise this is a partial, and I have paid a pretty penny for this partial. There's about 65-70 ml left. There's about 2/3 left. Maybe it's just under, around that kind of mark anyway. It was released in 1988, and I think it was made by Jean-Francois Laporte. He is certainly who is credited. He is the guy who ran the brand, started the brand. Same guy who ran and started L'Artisan Parfumeur. So he has some pretty impeccable qualifications as a niche perfume entrepreneur. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Still suffering with the effects of the old virus, but not to worry. And released in 1988, I beg your pardon. The notes. Now, there are different note profiles for this because there are a couple of different versions. That was re-released in 2017 when the brand was, they rebranded. The version I have here is the pre-reformulation and, maybe not pre-reformulation, but pre-repackaging, It was definitely reformulated, but I don't know how different the smell is. I've actually got a sample pack with the newer one in, but it's much more of just a plain old sandalwood. But according to Fragrantica, the notes of this are coffee, incense, spices, sandalwood, patchouli and vanilla, amber, vetiver, oak moss and musk. According to Parfumo, the notes are spices, coffee and frankincense, Mysore sandalwood, patchouli, vanilla and vetiver, ambergris, oak moss and castoreum. Again, made by Laporte, Monsieur Laporte, Jean Laporte. And I'm going to be honest, I smelled this in my Maitre Parfumeur Gantier sample set, the vintage one. I bought a fliss, and I thought, bloody hell, I wouldn't mind owning that. I've actually bought a few. Would you believe I've actually bought a few from that sample set? So when I do first impressions, I will have to remember to identify the fact that they may not be the first impressions I've done. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. This is awesome though. This is really fantastic. What do I get? Let's have a spray. I'll first tell you about the price. So I paid about £130 for this shipped. The guy did have it up for about £250 at first, and then he went down to £220, then £200, then £180, then £150, and I said, look, I'll give you £130 for it. And I said 120, but then he said, look, 130 shipped. And I was like, all right then. And that's about what it's worth. It's about a £200 fragrance in the vintage package, I think. You'll pay a lot more for much worse fragrances than this. To me, this is spicy. It's patchouli. It's sandalwood. It's a little bit of coffee incense. A little bit of amber. It's just a beautiful all-round perfume. All of these old Maitre... I mean, to be fair, the new ones are pretty great as well. But I've got old bottles. This is my 4th old bottle of Maitre Parfumeur Gantier. And so, I mean, the lids are cheap as all fuck, I can tell you. I mean, that is just woefully cheap. But I'd rather they put the money into the juice inside than the bottle. You know, that is so light and so dinky. You know, but it's gorgeous. I don't know what the performance is like. I've heard it's not great. But it's a really good patchouli, sandalwood coffee. It's got overtures of amen about it. But it's a beautiful thing. I'm really chuffed that I've been able to own it. I'm still on the hunt for a full bottle, as I am of a couple of others from this brand. If anyone comes across a full bottle of this, please let me know. Ambery, patchouli. It's got, like I say, it's got touches of amen about it, but it's a bit more French, a bit more classy. You know, amen's got this amazing vulgarity about it, which I really, really like. So, happy days. Thanks, everyone.